Okay, this is it. So let's see if we can make this one come up a treat. I wonder how big it's going to be, but we're going to make this one a text. This is going to be an enlargement, I think. I don't know how big we're going to make it. We're going to do something interesting with this. So we're going to make it... Ooh, something just fell down in my lounge room. I don't know what that was. It's probably my shoulder bag. Yeah, I think it's my shoulder bag. I can't see it hanging off the door handle. So yeah, my shoulder bag just fell off the doorknob. I always put it on the doorknob because I tend to forget to pick up the keys. The keys are in the bag, so therefore the keys are in the bag, and if I forget the bag, well, I have to call a locksmith, and I can't afford a fucking locksmith. I've had this happen before, so I had to find a way of avoiding... hang on, I've got to do this differently. Get out. We forgot to set something up first. But basically we're going single colour, so many of these features won't work. So we're going to start with, we're going to go black. But yeah, basically my bag fell down, and I put my bag on the handle simply because it's easy to remember, because to open the door handle I've got to lift the bag off the handle a bit. Makes it less likely for me to kind of forget it. Sad, it's annoying. I have to make these routines, but I live on my own and I've got memory problems, so it's a disability, and I have to live on my own. So I have to we're going to keep the sharpness out for this one. So basically, I have to look after myself at the moment before I get married to my future husband Luigi. But in the meanwhile, I have to look after myself, and that's one of the ways I get around my disability, is to do that, what I just mentioned. Anyway, this is what we're doing, an antiquated phone manual. This came from my mum, and this is smaller than A5 and the same width as A5, so we just got to stretch it a little. We're going to do something special. Hopefully we'll have enough paper in here. But basically, yeah, this is from my mum's old phone. It's going to be recycled. It's probably not worth fixing, which is sad. I love electronics to continue indefinitely because I really love electronics. I'm really grieved that the photocopier industry doesn't like to make their photocopiers last any more than 5 years, like this company, Konica Minolta. I'm really disappointed about that technology has such a short shelf life, especially photocopiers, because to get a repair person in to fix a photocopier is expensive if you're not on a service agreement, and service agreements can be terminated because the company that manufactures it doesn't supply the parts, and it's not worth keeping getting the customer to pay for, forgot to enlarge it, to pay for the service agreement if parts are no longer available, and you can't, and if whatever, it's, you know what I mean, it's difficult. And I had to get a new photocopier after my C353 finally croaked, you could say. Now 110 is not big enough, it's obviously too small. For some reason I was thinking it's got to be 100. How long do we need it? We need it a bit longer. It's got to be to A4, not to A5. It's got to be maybe, so it's going to be, this is a tough one. I can't seem to get this one down pat well enough. But yeah, it's difficult. Oh, now I'm losing my train of thought now. Sorry, guys. But it's sad that electronics doesn't have a very long shelf life or usability. Not so much shelf life, but usefulness. It's so sad to see that you get attached to something like a photocopier or like a phone or a tablet or a computer, and then it finally dies on you, especially if it's a really, really good one. It's just so sad, and I just wish the enjoyable experience can be prolonged by making the electronics last longer. But now we should have enlarged 141% vertically, but I think we can, maybe that should do it, or maybe we should, well, let's see how it goes. I'm just not doing this properly. It's just, I've got to not use up too much paper. Now I've just lost my setting. We want the X to be bigger than the vertical. So we're going 160. Let's hope this is a better fit. But yeah, I wish photocopiers could last at least 10 years. At least is the operative term. But it'd be nice if they could last like 60 years, which when I get a chance to have a say in how photocopiers are designed in the distant future, when they've got neural implants to help deal with my memory problems. And once my disabilities have been fixed, I can run a big company that builds the best photocopiers, both hardware and software. Artificially intelligent software coupled with robust, mostly metal construction instead of plastic. We want to cut the plastic use down to 5%, restrain it to wires and plugs and sockets and other essential equipment that plastics are good for. And we made it into a negative image, but we've done something. We've got the right size, but negative doesn't work with this. Shit, we're doing this wrong. Let's get this. But basically, yeah, we need to think of using less plastics and more metal. And metal's a nice material. It'd be nice if this machine, for example, was clad in beautiful, shiny, not aircraft grade. Aircraft grade would be used for the internals of the photocopier, the internal chassis, or the chassis. I think it's just called the chassis. And basically, there'll be less plastics used, because plastic is supposed to be cheap, which is why companies like Konica Minolta love using it so much. And it is a cheap and nasty material, and with a machine like this, you'd have to conduct a flammability test in a lab, because they always worry about fire, office fires, for example, and that's really a messy and dirty and smelly and destructive thing you have to do, and it's extremely toxic as well. The materials, apparently, I heard somewhere that what's left after burnt plastic is some of the most toxic materials known to man. So you've got to consider that that this has got to be safe in a fire, but you don't want to have to go through all that flammability testing. I don't like the idea. So if you make it 95% made out of non-combustible materials, like anything but plastic, there's not many combustible materials in a photocopier apart from plastic, and if you can eliminate the plastic, you can eliminate most of the flammability, and then hopefully you wouldn't have to test for flammability in a lab or anywhere. You just make the machine, and it looks really good and it functions well, and you don't have to go through that added rigmarole of flammability testing, and it could be a health hazard. So I don't like the idea. So metals makes it a lot safer and less toxic, and it's a lot more attractive too. So photocopier's got to look nice as well as be functional in my mind. But anyway, we're doing something different. I'm not concentrating very well. It's hard for me to talk and copy at the same time. Sorry if I sound like I'm talking through my fucking asshole. Sorry, guys. Hopefully we'll have enough paper for this project. But yeah, if we can eliminate the plastics, we can eliminate flammability, and that in itself will be one less test we have to perform, albeit a messy test. And we've got to make our machines last 60 years, and after 60 years we just tear them apart and recycle them. So, but basically the good thing about making it 60 I forgot to do something. I forgot that's the blue one. Or the cyan. I forgot to I'm sorry guys. I'm trying to vlog and copy, which is not an easy thing to do. Sometimes I get it right, but sometimes I don't do it very well, so please understand. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking through my ass today. We all have bad days. What the fuck? No, we don't want M to repeat. Fuck me dead. I want I'm doing really badly, guys, but you get the drift. I want to design a photocopier that the hardware lasts for 60 years, spare parts, available for 60 years, and service, and also the machine what else? Oh crap, I'm just stuttering, sorry guys. But another thing to note also is we want to make a lot of money, and when we make a lot of money, we want to give most of the money away to good causes like helping the environment and helping the poor and the sick and the needy and the disabled. I really want to make a difference in this world once I design an artificially intelligent photocopier with my future husband Luigi. And we want to make the planet a healthy and happy place for everyone. I don't want people to be homeless unless they want to be homeless. I don't want people to be sick and not get help. And I want the disabled to live lives of dignity and hopefully have prosthetic arms and legs, for example, for people who have missing limbs, instead of getting them to use these stupid mechanical arms that you see a lot of people with missing arms use. We want bionic arms and bionic legs so that people can live like a normal life. But that looks good. But basically, I want the planet to be clean and green. I want climate change to be addressed. I want to help climate change, because not only do I want to be a CEO of a future photocopier company, I want to be able to clean up the planet, clean up the pollution that has been made, and hopefully find a solution to climate change and global warming, help the disabled and the homeless, in other words, I want to end poverty and prevent it. I want the world to be a fair and happy place for everyone. Gotta go.